Record. Okay. Right. Hi, everyone. Thank you very much for getting on to this Rally for District call. Yes, we've just heard from Jen that, if you're on the call, you're a leader. So, yeah, you're all leaders in the making, so that's brilliant. My name's Candida Smith. I'm an area manager with Carbon International, and I'm under Helen Walton, who's under Zoe. So, yeah, been around for a while now. And tonight we've got two district managers who are going to give you their brilliant tips on and their journeys of how they got to district. So we've got Sophie Reed, who is in Fiona's team, sponsored by Andrea. Is that right?
Andrea,
yeah. Okay. And we've got Melody Kingman, who is in my team, who was sponsored by her daughter. And Melody's down in Kent, so we do pretty much everything on because I'm up in Stamford. So yeah, they're going to give you their stories. So take note, and yeah, lots of notes. And everybody's journey is absolutely different. So perhaps something in each of these ladies' journeys will resonate with you. And as I say, it's recorded, and we'll put it onto the Rally to District page as well. So if you want to kick off, Sophie, with your story for us, that would be great.
Okay. Hi, I'm Sophie Reed, and I'm district manager. I've been district manager since end of July. I started the business in the last week of June, so I reached district manager in 5.5 weeks. So yeah, I just want to give you a little bit of idea of how I did that. Before Arbonne, well, I'm a mother of 2 children, so a single mum. So I haven't been working for a few years. I did do a little bit of work with another network marketing company beforehand, so kind of gave me a little idea. I worked with Usborne Books, which was really good, and I loved it with the children. It was great for them, but it just didn't have the support and the same network that we have. So really within about sort of 8 months of doing that, my team that I worked with, a lady who lives quite close to me still now, she kind of stopped working her team, and it kind of all fell apart. So I kind of felt from that, with the whole not really online, that it just wasn't really going to work for me. But I really love the idea of network marketing. Around that time, I actually went on a little holiday with some friends, and one of my friends was using Arbonne products through my sponsor, Andrea, and she said she was going to do a party, so we all went along. And as soon as she mentioned it and kind of went through a few things, I just thought, this is totally different and exactly what I need to be doing. So I kind of jumped on board straight away. In terms of me getting to district, which obviously what this call's all about, my tips really and how I did it was within the first week. So I had end of June, I had a week to get to really to give me a good start, to get into July with the idea that, well, I was either going to do it in 2 months or 3. By the end of June, so in a week, I put myself into qual, which just really from day one just decided, you've just got to speak to people, and as everyone says, and launch parties. What I did was, because I'm at home with my 2 children, and childcare has always been an issue for me in terms of any other work and things, which I'm sure a lot of you relate to, is that I did them all here at my house. So I basically, with a kind of network of mums and people around me, just had a kind of, I guess, more open house kind of party get-togethers with people, and just really encourage people just to drop in through certain times of the day, just to talk to them more about it, and just gave them the evenings. I didn't have to narrow down to a day, or I couldn't go to them straight away, which worked really well. Sometimes I only had 1 or 2 people come round, and the first sort of week or so I was a little bit unsure of whether that was going to do anything, but actually the smaller groups are really good, because then you can work them in a totally different way and really give people a one-to-one attention, and give them actually what they want to know. A lot of people, I think, in bigger groups don't really want to talk about their actual skin problems or whatever. Even if they're a group of friends, they tend to not say anything until later, or if they use a sample or something like that, which is kind of how it worked for me. I found the samples really, really useful, and I have to say I did initially give for, I think, pretty much the whole of July as well. I gave people my discount if they were trying the products to get the business going. I found that was a really good way in. I've got some preferred clients from doing that who now obviously have their own discounts, which has worked really well. So yeah, 5.5 weeks straight into district manager, and now I'm still a team of one, which is now my focus to get my team going, which now I've got the ability to do that in knowing I've got to maintain it to obviously 2,500. So that's kind of my story in getting to district. And I hope there was a couple of tips in there. It wasn't particularly a lengthy talk about it.
So what about PCs? How many PCs have you got?
I've got 3 that regularly order. Yeah,
they're regularly buying.
Yeah, which kind of works. But my main thing really is obviously to grow my team. But the products has given me a confidence in that as well. So I did buy kits when I first started, when I did the parties. I found that was really useful. The makeup especially, because people often came over thinking, oh, I'll just buy something little. And then when you actually get to speak to them, if 1 or 2 turned up, they're more likely to tell you why they're looking for really, real coverage for foundation, because they're worried about their skin, and which is quite good. So those kind of one-to-ones were always good. So I think that's quite a nice thing to do if you're happy to have people at your house, obviously.
Yeah. No, it sounds perfect if you're at home with the children. Sort of like a drop-in centre, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
Kitchen.
Yeah, exactly.
Really good. And so you bought the makeup box and you've used, that's been very helpful, yeah?
Yeah, the makeup. I bought the makeup to start with, and I bought 1 set of the RE9, and then I bought 1 of the FC5 as well. Mm-hmm. And then over the last sort of couple of months now, I've been buying a little bit more with the sort of 65 for 20. If I've been doing, building it that way, because I haven't had the money to chuck into it straight away, and I haven't been doing any other job on the side. This has been my only thing. Mm-hmm. And I don't have any. My background for working is in criminal law, so there's no beauty to that. Really. Doesn't really come into it. So
I don't think there's many people that join that have come from a beauty background, to be honest.
No.
Yeah, that's brilliant, Sophie. Thank you. Has anybody got any questions that they want to put in the chat for Sophie, and we can go over it later? So if you have, put them in there. Okay, brilliant. Next up, Melody Kingman. So she's my cousin, as I say, down in Kent. So it's so nice to be working with family. It's really, really lovely. There's quite a few of my family involved in my team now. So yeah, it just brings families together, this business. It's fantastic. So she's going to share how she got to district with us as well. Thank you, Mel.
Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me, Candy?
Yeah, perfect.
Fantastic, good. Just checking all was okay. Well, hi everybody. It's absolutely great to be on this call. So thanks ever so much for inviting me. The way that I actually came onto Arbonne was quite different, perhaps in some ways, to those stories that we've already heard. I've been watching over the last few weeks and listening to people's stories, and it is really, really interesting. When I actually became involved in Arbonne, my motivation was really a little bit personal, was fact that I was really suffering with a skin complaint. I had really nasty eczema, and I was looking for something that would really help to sort that out. Candy obviously was already involved, as with her sister Sue, and my daughter down here in Kent had also already got involved with Arbonne. So I was just interested from a product point of view to start off with, and started off with the nutrition. But soon after that, I was looking at perhaps becoming a preferred client, because I'd bought through my daughter to start off with. And then I thought to myself, do you know what, that's absolutely ridiculous. So the more I was listening, the more I was hearing what Sam was doing, what Candy was up to, what the lovely Sue was up to. I was thinking, I want to be part of that, because this is, for us, it's a real family kind of commitment as well. My other daughter, interestingly, there's only us down in Kent, but she came on a different line. I won't go into that now, but it is really a little bit weird how that all came about. And there literally is just us down here in Kent, this part of Kent. So I started off thinking I was going to sign up as a preferred client, and then thought, no, I tell you what, I'm going to jump in. I'm going to go with the independent consultant. And at the time, actually, my motivation for that, talk about it being family, was Candy had come back from Vegas, and she was looking for her to achieve her bonus for being going to Vegas as well. And so I thought, yeah, actually, do you know what? I'm not going to wait for another month. I'm going to jump straight in, start off with, I'm going to help my family out. And that was great as well to start off with. I didn't expect to happen what happened past then. I really didn't. I wasn't really sure what I was going in for. I was looking forward to it. I wanted to be able to help my daughter out. But what I didn't expect was the momentum. Once you jump on this journey, my goodness me, do you jump on it? You really do. And just everybody that's involved, all the people that you get to know through just being on Zoom call, it really was a changing moment for me, definitely. So my first thing that I used was the nutrition, and my skin really started to sort itself out, for one thing. The other thing that came from that was that obviously I started to lose weight, and of course that's the kind of thing that people really do notice. I'm a deputy head teacher in a junior school, so I do work with a lot of people, and they started to notice as well. And really, by the end of May, I did write down some stats. So I joined in the end of April. In May, by the end of May, at half term, because I remember it quite clearly, I signed up 3 new preferred clients, and each of them bought the ASVP nutrition pack. And again, they were inspired by the fact that I'd started to lose weight. I felt so different, and they wanted to have a little bit of that too. So I had 3 new preferred clients in May. Plus my own QV, so that was a month in. I'd done 2,792 QV, and so that put me into qual for DM. So I thought, right, okay, go into June, and again at that point it was like, well, see what happens with it. But the momentum really grew, and I think it was a real talk about being a product of the product. I really do truly believe that that's what pushed it for me, because in June, I had 6 new preferred clients join. Now, at this point, we did have a launch, a small launch with some friends. But in fact, actually, a lot of those friends that came were already looking to buy in the nutrition, or were buying it, parts of Arbonne bits anyway from me. But in June, I had another 6 new preferred clients join. Plus, I had a independent consultant join, plus my own QV, and then at the end of June I'd got 3,734 QV, which then qualified me as a district manager, because I'd had my May QV and my June QV. So that was fantastic. I was really, really pleased with that. And then I started to look back and think, well, you know, so what is it then? What's done that for me? And I certainly would say that people really did start to notice. I think if you can get into some form of the product yourself, for me it was the nutrition. It worked fantastically, but equally I've got another consultant who works under me, who the other day, she's actually a teacher in my school, and we had a big review in school this week, and we had the local authority that were coming in, and I went into an observation with this school improvement advisor, and Claire, my consultant, bless her, was there being observed, and I was just watching her confidence. It was absolutely coming from her. And I know that, I mean, Claire is quite a confident person anyway, but there was something different about her. And it wasn't really until we got to the end of it, we'd given her feedback, and I spoke to her a little bit later on. And I said, Claire, you were absolutely amazing today. And she laughed and she said, it was the CC cream. And I was just like, oh, you silly arse, you know, what are you talking about? But she said, no, she said, I was so worried last night. I was trying to get prepared for these observations. I was, you know, it was all a bit of a moment going on. And she'd woken up the next morning, and she said she looked in the mirror at 5 o'clock and thought, this is a bad day today. So she bought out the CC cream, put it on her face, and she said, and actually I just felt more confident for it. And looking at her skin, I said, like, you know, it really does look amazing. Now that's one product that in fact actually I think you can put on your face, you can go down to you know, to your children's groups that you go to. You can go to work, you can go out to the pub or whatever else. And it's something that you can have on your skin, and regardless of what's going on underneath it, your skin looks amazing. I haven't yet seen anybody that hasn't put that CC cream on and doesn't look amazing. And I think that that's a really big thing that you want to be thinking about, is what can I use? What can I do that people will notice and ask me about? And it makes you feel so much more confident as well, hence, you know, how Claire felt that day. So I think really, for myself, I think my advice to you is, it's really important, and I always say this, I'm a leader in school as it is, and I always say to my middle leaders when they're growing into leaders themselves, it's all very well being able to talk the talk, but can you walk the walk? And so you can talk about the products, you can tell other people about them, you can pick up bits of information, but do you truly stand there and shine with Arbonne, really? And it might be that you've just put the mascara on, it might be that you put the CC cream on, it might be that you've...
Should we back?
It could be anything, but you see, and you know, I do truly believe that that is a big thing for people. So if you've only got a small amount of money to spend, invest in something that you know would make you feel much better. If you were to put your face on, or your hair, or whatever it is, I would first off say that for sure. For me then, in July, I had another 2 new preferred clients, another new independent consultant, and at the end of July, believe it or not, I had 4,997 QV. I was 3 QV short of hitting District Manager bonus. I was in Crete at the time, and Zoe had called me, Candy was texting me, and it was just like that point of like, do you know what, actually I knew there was nothing I could do. It was so nuts. 3 QV short, which I probably would have jumped on and bought anything if it had made the difference, but I was also 2 preferred clients or IC short as well. So I just thought, right, okay, fine, doesn't matter, because I've hit my strong start. I'd got all of those incentives to start off with. I thought, I'm not going to beat myself up about that. I can't, that is actually out of my control at this minute in time, but it doesn't make me feel I can't get up in August and go for it. I've been told that August could be a bit of a quiet month, and I know for me as well, I was on school holidays, all of my contacts were going off on holidays. It was a bit of a tricky
She's coming back. She's coming back. She's coming back. Kent's a long way away. Come on now.
one.
Hey, she's back. Oh, she was. Gone completely, I think. Yeah. Okay, well, what I'll do, I'll unmute you all, and if anybody's got any questions, there's some bits on the chat as well, so unmute all. Ooh, maybe not. Right.
Hello.
Oh, are you back, Mel?
Yeah, my internet was playing up. Sorry.
Okay, hang on then. I'll just mute everybody. Okay, carry on. Oh no, she's gone again. Bear with us. I'm sure there's a great finale. Oh, is she? Okay, yes, you're probably right. Okay, she's unmuted, but she's not here.
Can you hear me?
Hey, yeah. Okay, sorry,
Yeah,
I muted everybody, including you.
Sorry, guys. Okay, yes, I've got my dish. I'm very near the end now. got my district bonus, got into September, and in September I did 6,734 QB. So I think the point that I'm saying is that just work on that momentum. For me personally, and I wouldn't sit here and say it's the only way, but I really focused in on getting those preferred clients in place. I wanted to know that once I'd got into DM, I would definitely be able to maintain where I was. And I think that I've now got approximately 15 PCs. They're not all buying every month, and I do follow up and follow through with them, but I do manage to get every month, since I've managed to actually get my 2,500 plus some. So I'm not saying that it's the only way, but certainly for me, focusing on my preferred clients, getting those independent consultants in place, although I've got 4, but 3 of them aren't business builders at the moment. So I've got one really good business builder. So I've just said my personal thing is walk the walk, definitely. Wear those products, get those products out there, get people talking to you about them, and build up your preferred client basis. Looking out all the time for independent consultants, absolutely, because that's what you want ultimately in order to build a business. But go with the confidence, be really confident, and whatever it is that makes you feel confident, spreads confidence out there into the world. And I wish every single one of you all the best. I really do. It's a fantastic journey, and I know you're going to hit it as well. So go for it this month, everyone.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Brilliant. Thank you, Mel. Fantastic. Thank you, Sophie. There are a few things on the chat, so let me just have a look at those. Right, lots of people saying thank you to Sophie. Fab job, Sophie. Right, hi Sophie. I have a question. How to encourage your PCs to continually buy? Okay, so in fact you can probably both carry on answer this then. Having only 3, I can speak with I message them every week asking how they get on with what they've previously suggested, new, and add new products on. Yeah. Okay, and Mel, you're very good at following up with your PCs as well, aren't you? Yeah.
So again, Candy, sorry, you're cracking up.
Yeah, you're very. The question was about PCs. So how do you can get them to continually buy? And saying this, that you're following up with them. How often do you follow up with them?
Really regularly, especially if I know someone's doing the nutrition. I will text them every week and say, how are you getting on, anything you want to know, any questions. But one thing I would say as well is, if you go into my team and orders, you can go into each of your preferred clients' orders, going back along, and remind yourself what they bought, and then you can actually go back in, and I'll always follow up. I mean, I'm following up with people all the time, but I would definitely say at least hit those preferred clients once a month at minimum to actually talk to them about how they're getting on with their products, definitely. But if it's something like nutrition and you know that
Okay, I think so. The point is, yeah. Oh, you're back.
Yeah, sorry, my internet's dreadful, isn't it?
It's because you're too far away.
It's a long way down here with Ken.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think basically the gist of it is that well, we've heard from both Sophie and you that you can get to district manager without any team whatsoever, actually. So just based on preferred clients. Sorry, my voice coming in. Can you give me a minute? Let's go, please. On there. Sorry. Yeah, so get those preferred clients in place to start with, and build a really good relationship with them, and get them buying on a consistent basis. And then when you've got that base in place, then and what will actually happen is those preferred clients, as you're talking to them, will realise that it's crazy because they'll be recommending stuff to people and not actually getting paid for it. So they'll then jump on as consultants. I signed a preferred client up on Friday, and I was talking to her about it, and she said, "Oh God, you know what? I'll probably just end up doing it, won't I?" And I'm like, yeah. Well, the thing is, you can't help yourself but recommend them, so it'll just happen naturally. So don't stress yourselves out about trying to find a team before you get to DM. Just get some preferred clients in place, which is and of course then those preferred clients stay with you as well. So when like I was at executive district, and then I had 3 districts all promote out at the same time, left my central really a bit flat. So then it's like, oh, crikey, you've got to find a whole load more people. But if you've got preferred clients that are buying on a regular basis, then that you're not in so much of a panic about it. So yeah, and brilliant advice from both of you. So thank you very, very much. Any more questions? I'll just, if I unmute you all, you're getting noisy. Hang on. Okay. Anybody got anything they want to ask Mel, Sophie, me, before we go?
I've got a question, but it's more of a general thing about the product.
Yeah, okay.
I was speaking to my brother-in-law today, and he was quite interested in the product, but he did that because he's around a lot of engineers and mechanics. He said fever and stuff like that to wash their hands with. Was there anything that Arbon did?
Can you repeat the question? So, what something they should wash their hands with?
Yeah, my brother-in-law's around a lot of mechanics and engineers on a daily basis, and they use small fever and things like that to get the oil and whatnot off the hands. And he was asking, is there anything that Arbon may perhaps use instead?
Perhaps not that we get all. I mean, the sea, yeah, I'd say someone's just put the sea salt scrub, and then that is obviously that's slightly abrasive, so that would probably take a fair bit off. But obviously, I mean, are you near to anybody else that you could borrow one of those to try to have a go?
Oh, yeah.
The sea salt scrub's probably the best for that.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. Anything else from anybody else?
A better company because it's competitive.
Has he got his daughter already? Oh, that was another girl, wasn't it? Yeah.
Okay, I think if we've all finished, have we? Maybe something to treat the hands afterwards. Yeah, well, the hand cream is. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for getting on. Well done. And we'll see you all next week. Zoe will be back. We don't know who the speakers are yet. And yeah, if there's any area managers on here, or sorry, if there's any districts on here that haven't posted on the Facebook page that they'd like to speak on this call, then can you do so? Great, obviously, that we have a rolling programme of different people's stories and happy. Okay, thanks very much, everyone.
Thanks.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.